This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Police seek brother after mayhem in Glen. What was supposed to be a gathering of mourning relatives taking steps to prepare a final place for a senior family member dramatically turned into a machete-wielding and a gunslinging bloodbath in Glen, St. Catherine on Wednesday, leaving one brother dead and another reportedly on the run. Dead is 42-year-old Noel Phipps, otherwise called David, a farmer of Lovely Grove in Glen. On Thursday, shame and despair hung over the faces of relatives as they worked feverishly to complete the grave digging after preparations were halted on Wednesday as the area was transformed into a crime scene. Some remained tight-lipped and coerced others not to shed light on the incident when the news visited, only declaring that the conflict was not over land. The whole area saw for Phipps. Any Phipps want to do anything them want can do it. Nobody can say I'm me own ya so, I'm me own this so. The land will out to anybody, said a cousin who reportedly arrived in Jamaica to see Phipps' body lying near the grave site. Some relatives chastised the police, saying they took hours to process the scene and remove the victim's body. A sister of the deceased told the news that she was saddened by the tragedy. Me and my brother was close. We follow back at each other. What happened already, and we can't bring him back, she said. Phipps' mother was not at the scene on Thursday, opting to remain indoors at her Appleton home. It's my two sons. Me don't know what happened. I was not there, she said tearfully before a daughter ushered her away. A Glen resident told the news team that the incident drew a large crowd and had set tongues wagging in the farming community. We know the two of them. The family shame because one son dead and the next one run with God about him business, the resident told the news. A truck driver who went to the location to deliver material to assist with the grave digging reportedly ran, leaving the vehicle behind when he heard the explosions. It blocked up the little roadway. Not even the police could pass. The vehicle that belongs to one of the brothers was blocked in as well, a resident said, recounting the chaos. Reports from the Above Rocks police are that about 10:30 a.m., Phipps was at the grave site when an argument developed between him and his brother. When the dispute escalated, the suspect pulled a firearm from his waistband and fired several shots at Phipps. The police were alerted, and on their arrival, Phipps was seen lying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police are appealing to the suspect to turn himself in at the Above Rocks police station by midday Friday. They are also urging people who have any information that can assist in the investigation to contact the Above Rocks police at 876-903-9287, police emergency at 119, crime stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Fire raises family yard in standpipe. Despite losing most of their belongings in a fire that gutted their homes on Thursday afternoon, the occupants at a family compound in Standpipe, St. Andrew, are grateful that no lives were lost. District Officer Norris Monroe of the Jamaica Fire Brigade told the news that preliminary investigations indicate that the fire was started after a child used a lighter to set a fire to a bedsheet in one of the rooms. Firefighters from the Halfway Tree and the York Park fire stations were called to the scene at approximately 3:30 p.m., but by the time they managed to put out the blaze, it had already destroyed 9 rooms. Pollyanna Finley, who lived in a 2-bedroom house on the property, said that she heard the father loudly reprimanding the child before she realized what was happening. By that time, she was unable to save anything. "I just took out my bags with my documents and come out," she said. Leroy Samuels, who was at work when he heard that his 2-bedroom house was on fire, made it home in time to save just 5 suits of clothing from the raging flames. "Me not save nothing. Everything in my house burn up. When me come, it too late," he lamented. Samuels said that he lived on the compound all his life, and although he was devastated by the tragedy, he was happy that no lives had been lost. "Me feel better say nobody no burn, cause it better you lose the furniture than somebody lose a life," he told the news. Meanwhile, Pauline Edwards is filled with gratitude after community members helped her to save most of her possessions. I was lying down on my bed and some of my community members them called me and say, "Pauline, pull the grill, fire, fire, fire," she recalled. Me turn fool and look all about for the key. I found the key and them say, "Auntie Pauline, just come sit down and easy." And them take out most of the things them for me, she said. She remains optimistic that she will rebound from the setback. "This fire is going to be a big blessing for me because I trust and learn to serve God," she told the news. "It could worse, no life no loss, so I have everything to give thanks and praise for." Rape victim to be pulled from public school system. As outrage intensifies over the alleged rape of a student at the St. Mary High School, the victim's family has opted to pull her from the public education system. The family is fearful that if she is sent to another school, the incident may happen again. A spokesperson told the news on condition of anonymity Thursday, adding that the child will be homeschooled as she remains severely traumatized. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, in the meantime, confirmed that it has received a report of the incident. "As a principle, we don't give public information about rape cases in relation to children. We don't give details about it. The most I can tell you is that we have received a report and the matter is being investigated," said Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, head of the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit. She added that she is not aware of anyone being arrested in connection with the incident. It is also not yet clear if the perpetrator is enrolled at the school where the young girl was allegedly attacked. A source close to the victim's family earlier this week stated that a male attired in a khaki uniform reportedly held a pair of scissors at the student's neck and forced her into the bathroom, where he allegedly raped her during the school's afternoon shift. Another student reportedly found the victim naked on the bathroom floor. She was eventually taken to the Port Maria Hospital for treatment. Amid continued investigation by the JCF as well as the school's administration, the incident is sparking outrage in the community. Guidance counselor at another school in the parish, Sheldon Kidd, who is also counselor for the Orakabesa division, has called for the community to help hunt down the perpetrator. The act that was committed by the perpetrator was callous and gruesome. I condemn it and I wish that the perpetrator will be found. I am begging members of the school community and the public, if you know anything, please tell the police or somebody from the school community so that the perpetrator can be caught, he told the news on Thursday. "We are living now in a society of moral decadence. We want to send a message when the perpetrator is caught that he gets the full brunt of the law so that nobody would want to do something like that in the future," Kidd said. "It must be traumatic. As a guidance counselor, I can relate to what the student is going through. The trauma is overwhelming and it will affect her for life. I can imagine the magnitude of hurt that she has felt and will be feeling," he said. Kidd lamented that it is not the first time criminals have struck at the school where the incident allegedly occurred. He said surveillance cameras are needed urgently. In 2002, the dean of discipline at that school was attacked by a number of boys. They beat him. From that time, the administration of the school has asked for some cameras to be installed so that they could have evidence and know what is happening around the school. If that were done, then we would have at least had some idea of who the perpetrator of the alleged rape is, Kidd reasoned. "I am expecting the powers that be to install these cameras. We do not want this cruel act to happen again to anybody else, and so we are begging for cameras to be installed." Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Police face opposition in clampdown on illegal garages. Members of the Municipal Police in Kingston and the St. Andrew have reportedly received threats as they intensify the clampdown on illegal garages. Special operations have been conducted in various communities, especially at garages which are encroaching on public spaces such as sidewalks. Some of the areas targeted include Vineyard Town and Waltham Park Road. Commandant for the Municipal Police, Dwayne Anderson, says despite being issued with cease and desist notices and some of the vehicles being impounded, the garage operators continue their illegal activities. During an operation on Henderson Road on Tuesday evening, some of the operators became hostile towards the enforcement team.
"We would have served several notices on these entities, but these people are persons who would have been relentless and hell-bent in carrying out their activities. Whilst conducting the operation, the team came under threats of violence. However, we maintained calm, were courageous, and executed the job. What we have recognized that once we remove these vehicles, within an hour or two, these persons would have returned other vehicles to that same space, causing the cycle of us serving notices again and also seizing these vehicles.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.